So, for the next topic of wisdom sharing, knowledge and experience sharing, it will be a forum, as up on screen, we've heard a lot about innovation and health tech, and we are going to, the word hybrid is there, so it is a combination or amalgamation of both or even more entities when it comes to healthcare and careers specifically. I'm privileged actually to introduce our panelists, experts. We have a foreign delegate. You know, we as Malaysians, we are warm and hospitable people. That's what I heard lah. But I want to say that Dr Raouf Hajji, Assistant Professor of Internal Medicine from the Faculty of Medicine, SUS, is that how I pronounce? SUS, Tunisia, and co-founder of International Medical Community. This International Medical Community is based in Italy, and it is truly international because he has a company based in Italy. He's from Tunisia and is presenting to us Malaysians in Malaysia. Please put your hands together as well for Dr Raymond Choi, a returning speaker here, CEO and founder of ADOC Health. And lastly but not the least, our moderator Jason. Welcome back. Take it away. Take it away. A little bit more rockers, Kevin. Yeah.
For everyone's information, so being a moderator is also a hybrid medical career as well. Okay, so there's so little of you, but it's alright. Okay, so good afternoon. So welcome to our panel of Health Tech Innovations and Future of Hybrid Medical Careers. So in today's forum, we'll be discussing about how healthcare innovation has actually shaped the landscape of medical careers. So we're going to discuss a couple of questions around how technology today has actually shifted the traditional roles of becoming a clinicians. What it means to actually transition, what it means to actually combine both technical IT knowledge and clinical roles in today's medical practice as well. So we have two distinguished panelists here today. So I think they are the best in their fields. So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and ask the both of you to introduce yourself. So we have Dr Raouf Hajji. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. I'm Dr Raouf Hajji. I'm Assistant Professor of Internal Medicine Faculty of SUS Tunisia. I'm working currently in Saudi Arabia. I'm co-founder and medical lead of International Medical Community, which is a health tech hub. Was founded during the COVID-19 pandemic to help healthcare professionals, business and experts to found and to work and to create resilient and flexible and adaptable modern healthcare ecosystem. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that. Raymond, introduce yourself.
Okay, thanks. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raymond. It's good to see a lot of people here today. Always so good to have the session after lunch, right? So I'm like most of you. Also the medical practitioner, so I've been practicing for maybe more than 10 years overseas, and of course my background is during my tenure we actually developed and co-founded the telehealth platform in Malaysia, providing online consultation services, prescription and also medical delivery for the past 8 years in Malaysia, and right now I'm venturing into the Netflix of care. Looking into the subscription economy with providing a more affordable, accessible, and accountable healthcare for all, and ensuring all the stakeholders in the ecosystem, including doctors, clinics, are well taken care of, right? And most importantly is to provide a more sustainable healthcare. Yeah. So this is what I'm doing, this year, actually leveraging on what we we have been doing for the health tech and spin off into a Netflix model of healthcare here.
All right, thanks for that. Okay, so if you look at the title and the topic of our discussion today is about innovation and hybrid medical roles. So all of you who are listening right now, I'm sure you have questions about the career for medicine beyond traditional clinical roles, and also please start preparing your question. Then we will get these two panel of experts to answer. All right. So with that, I'm going to kick off the first question to you, Dr. Raouf. Can you please explain a little bit about IMC? What's the role, and from your perspective, your members, and all, how are they adopting, the change in what we call the blend medicine with technology and leadership? So how is your community seeing the blend of these two roles together?
In fact, the COVID-19 pandemic showed us that the healthcare system, unfortunately, is not prepared, is not resilient, and is not prepared to the pandemics. And we recently found out that even for the normal care, our healthcare system all over the world is not prepared. The idea of the international medical community is to advance the healthcare adoption, to create a very updated healthcare system. And we found out that there is a rise of hybrid career for physicians all over the world. And the idea, the main, this is very noticeable in European country and mainly on US. But on low and middle income countries, the situation is different. And we are pushing the students and we are pushing the healthcare professionals to understand that the healthcare and the health tech adoption and innovation is a must. Otherwise, any healthcare professional will be left behind. And it's a situation that make us very attentive to the innovation, to advance the healthcare, and to the idea is that we are, as disruptive doctors and the international medical community, we are created a community to help the people who doesn't know and who are afraid to start the hybrid career, because it's not evident to stop your medical career as physician and start directly to go in the health tech landscape. So it's like a push and a catalyst for the traditional physician.
So when you mentioned hybrid, can you explain a little bit how it looks like from a day-to-day?
The hybrid career is a combination, it's a bridge between the clinical traditional practice and the adoption of the health tech. It means you can work as advisor or as a health tech expert for the health tech startups, and you can work as co-founder on health tech startup, continuing your medical career. I think it's not easy, but we are, as I heard yesterday for one of speech and conferences, if you have succeeded medical career, your medical study, you are resilient and you are able to do whatever you want. Just you need to shift your mindset and to prepare yourself to do the new career.
Okay, so Raymond, just to add on to whatever Dr. Raouf mentioned, so I think yourself, you founded a telemedicine company. So do you see or do you hire doctors or medical graduates that eventually will work for your startup? Will you attract these people?
Yeah, in fact, actually 2 years ago, exactly the same place here, we attracted some of the medical graduates who actually did not want to practice. We asked him many times, did you want to even go for a housemanship, right? And this is one of the talents, graduated from overseas. And he was very clear that, I just want to go into the health tech space and I do not want to practice. So, in our practice, in our education, training, all this, right? And we are trained to become a doctor, right? No question about it. But there are certain group of, medical graduates or doctors, they have other aspirations to want to do other things, right? And a lot of the doctors are quite enterprising and very entrepreneurial, right? And we do need doctors, right? And looking at the fact today, we are having severe brain drain, even more to the down south island, right? And we are not able to afford the 3.5 times to really retain our doctors. So hence, we have to do a lot more to actually attract the talents. I think throughout my journey, we saw a lot of different medical doctors coming to this space, and of course, some of them coming to the space as clinicians to provide virtual consultations, hybrid care, bringing care to home, sending doctors to home, and things like that. Of course, at the same time, we do have some junior doctors coming in to be exposed to different areas like corporate segment, commercialization, product design, and even marketing, right? And these group of doctors are very open, and they are probably one of the groups that actually will be very open to the hybridization of a career. One thing about being a medical person that I think you actually have a lot of options, not only hospital medicine, clinical medicine. I mean, you have pharmaceutical, right, and you have others. And the other exciting part is, if you have aspiration, you can always come up and try to solve a problem, right, and do your own business, right, and do a startup, try to disrupt. I mean, like what the title, right, Disruptive Doctors. And I believe, the reason why you're here today, to a certain extent, there's some form of disruption element in you, right? You're wanting to learn, you're open to actually know more and see how can you improve the current status quo. Be it your own practice or within the ecosystem, you solve a lot of problems. So what are the main problems today in healthcare? You and I know that, right? It's a cost, right? It's accessibility, right? And of course, talents, right? We don't have enough talents, and you go to the Borneo area, we don't have enough doctors, right? And nurses. So there's so many problems in the healthcare ecosystem, and we need more people, disrupting the industry, making it more efficient, more cost-effective, so that we can sustain longer. So if you are the medical doctor with this mindset, I think you have an unfair advantage, because it's true, because in a way that, because we see non-medical and the medical. So non-medical, they will always think about do no harm to the patient. Whatever you innovate, whatever you do, you always have this mindset, because we all swear the oath, right? Do no harm, right? Compared to a businessman, it's different, right? And you always think about it. When I do this, is it ethical? Is it professional? And most importantly, is it safe for the patient, right? Businessmen can have a lot of very innovative ideas, right? Thinking of dollar and cent. But for medical people like us, right, we always look at value to patient rather than the revenue, right? Revenue will be the byproduct if you serve your patient well. So last but not least, one thing I learned when I was in Singapore, that one of the top medical group, right, in Singapore, the boss is a medical doctor, GP, right? Today owns hospitals and clinics, right? So he mentioned that someone asked him, how do you be so successful and make so much money, right, and list a company? And he just said one thing, right? If you take care of a patient well, the patient will take care of your business. So likewise, if you take care of your patient well, whatever you do, you will be very well taken care of. I think that is no question about it. No matter what you do, whether you do hybrid or not hybrid, the first rule of thumb today, we are here as medical doctors, as a healthcare professional. The first rule of thumb is do no harm and take good care of your patients. Yeah.
Thanks for that. So, Dr. Raouf, just curious, how do you see educators, or how do you see traditional medical school programs going to change to make sure that future generations, future graduates of medical graduates can actually adapt themselves towards this whole hybrid medical career?
In fact, the medical curriculum is very difficult and very hard, and everyone knows that we have a lot of courses that needs. I think it's a must that the change is a must, and we see that, for example, the medical curriculum in the US mainly, there is also hybrid, what we call. We include the health tech and the entrepreneurship and the leadership in the medical curriculum. It will help to create new skilled, health tech skilled physicians, and I think it can be gradual until we create a curriculum adapted to the needs of healthcare, especially in low and middle income countries, because I think the people don't understand that the low and middle income countries are more needy for the health tech than the rich countries. As we have a lot of remote areas, we have a lot of difficulty of access of healthcare, and I think remote care and hybrid and telehealth and Internet of medical things is a solution. But we need to have physicians prepared for this, and I think the next generation and the next clinician are aware about that, and we can create a generation that can be a bridge between clinical practice, the traditional clinical practice, and the health tech innovation, especially with the emergence of the new technology like Internet of medical things and artificial intelligence. And it's I insist and highlight that the medical student should understand that it's not an option, it's a must. Even if you have now the medical curriculum adapted to this, you need to adapt yourself and to open your mind and to shift and to understand that the market needs this, and that as a physician you will see every day people asking, doctor, I'm here, I have checked my ChatGPT and it has explained to me that I must do this investigation, and that ChatGPT or Perplexity thinks that the diagnosis is, what will your response is if you don't know about ChatGPT, and Perplexity and this artificial intelligence tools. I think it's evident that medical curriculum must change.
Okay, so to add on to what he just mentioned, medical curriculum must change. So, Raymond, yourself as an entrepreneur, if you are going to hire, must that candidate at least finish clinical training, or then only you consider getting them into hybrid roles? Or is that okay? Or maybe put it this way: is clinical training important to even as a first step before considering a hybrid medical role? Maybe we just simplify that question.
That's a very good question. Personally, I think the attitude above everything. Qualification remains as a qualification. If you have a medical, qualification, it's a very good bonus, as I mentioned earlier. The key is attitude towards this, right? And when we actually look at the individuals, the candidates, right? We always look at how is this person attitude? Is this person very complacent, or is very hungry, right? And that will actually say this, or does he have a desire to actually do what it takes, right? To achieve what he wants to achieve, right? Because if you do not have it, even if you are an MBA or with multiple degrees and all this, right, you will not be sustainable because you are just doing for the sake of doing it, right? So when you go for this kind of a hybrid model, I think if you are, I suppose a lot of you guys have already graduated, right, and you have the qualifications. It's a good bonus, but it's not a prerequisite to the health tech. But like what Dr. Raouf mentioned, right? And if you have the medical knowledge and then you upskill into the health tech, into the healthcare innovations, that will set you apart from others, because we are no longer living in the decades ago where we only focus on analog. Today, everything almost is quite digitized, right? And your patients actually know more than you. You have to put it that way, right? And because most of the time, traditionally, we as a healthcare providers, we base on evidence-based, right? We talk about evidence-based, and there is only that kind of limitation in our brain. And we know a lot of physicians are practicing based on experience, right? It's experience-based. Because I used to do this, and it did very well. My patient got better, right? And how often do we get ourselves updated to the gold standard, to the nice guideline or whatever, right? We do not have that kind of capacity, right? Today, if we do not integrate ourselves with the digitization part of it or with the AI, we will no longer be relevant. I've been coming to a lot of conferences, healthcare related. There's a common question asked: will AI replace the doctors? Right. The answer is yes. Well, most people say no. The answer is yes, because AI will replace those doctors who actually do not, adopt the technology and AI, right? Because there will be doctors who actually, be so open, and it's not about age, it's about the mindset, the attitude towards it, how open you are to learn. That's why when I say, right, and how do we see the candidate, right? It's not about age, it's about how hungry the person is, right, to willing to learn. So that will actually be the prerequisite into the hybridization, because medical people, we are trained to treat the patients, and it's a long journey in our medical training, right? And you expect someone to actually adopt innovation, not easy, right? Because one thing about doctors is we have to manage the ROE, return of ego, right? Business world, they talk about ROI, return of interest, right? But this is the fact that we have to actually address the ego of our doctors, and sometimes we have to lower ourselves down, right? To empty our glass, to go to the room and learn, unlearn, and relearn, right? A lot of time we do not learn new things, because we think we know everything. So that will actually affect the hybridization of, the medical careers. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Dr. Raouf, actually I want to share a bit of perspective and I want to hear your thoughts. So in our conversation prior to this, you mentioned that in developed countries like the US, so a lot of the clinicians, they practice that over time, they are given tasks that shift them towards more administrative, more tech roles and all. But these clinicians are practicing clinicians that has been practicing for many years, and then subsequently they are given more responsibility, then they move up, right? But at least in our region here, we are seeing a little bit different in terms of what's happening. Now we have a lot of medical graduates that are contemplating whether should they proceed in completing their clinical practice or getting certified or whatnot. And now it has come to a point where should I just quit clinical completely and just go straight to the industry and straight get into the hybrid role? So I just want to hear your thoughts. Is there a pros and cons for someone who complete clinical training then slowly step up, or someone versus someone who did not finish clinical training and then straight they go into a hybrid kind of a role? What are your thoughts? Yeah.
Thank you. In fact, I think to have the clinical knowledge is good and excellent for the one who will work and have tech space, and I think it's an added value. And I recommend most of the people who are the students to continue to finish their medical curriculum, and then they can start small and stay curious about health tech. Because maybe in a few years you found out that you are not, this is not fit for you, and then it will be a bad choice. Because not all the people are for the health tech space. So it's recommended to finish your career, start small, stay curious about health tech, and open your and shift your mindset. That the main mindset is that you should be. I think is the most important advice that I have got during my medical study is that physician is a lifelong learner. Otherwise, he will fail. He will not. He will kill people because he doesn't have updated knowledge. And I think the idea that you need to look for mentors, for the people who can assist you and explain to you what will be the next step. It's important to be very curious and to be involved in groups and communities. You don't need only the local communities. And I think Disruptive Doctors and the international medical community are a good example, and there are a lot of these initiatives. They can help you to understand the health tech system, and you will adapt your affinity and your knowledge with which technology you will work on, which project you will work on. Maybe you can co-found a startup. Maybe you can work as an advisor. It depends a lot on your affinity and your projects. But main advice, you should know what you want. Otherwise, you will be lost. And no one can help you in this. You should know what you want and what will be the next step. And you don't be afraid. And I recommend you also, if you have started your medical career, don't go directly to the health tech space very quickly, because it's like support, a financial support for you to have medical career, and you have to have your own salary, and you can step by step decide if you will work as a bridge between the two spaces, or you can go later on as to work only on health tech, only out of clinical practice.
So Raymond, you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, I agree. Start small but aim big. We can do moonlighting while doing your practice, right? And after your work, you can always do the extra work because you might not have a financial capital to start something, right? So at least you do a POC, because this is really what you do. Then you slowly move your main career to the new stuff, right? Is that something that you want to do? So always start small, but you know that you want to achieve big and dream big, right? So dream big, but start small.
Okay. All right. So in line with the team, healthcare innovation, and then after that, subsequently, a clinician that has taken up the hybrid role. So where do you see this technology is going to impact the practice and what it means for the patient? Do you agree that it actually makes the clinician practice better and it actually does improve patient care? What are your thoughts around it? So maybe Raymond, I'll start with you. Any thoughts on that?
Well, any technology invented is actually or innovation, right, is to improve the current status quo or to solve the pain points. So today, let's say we talk about e-hailing, right, Grab. Can you imagine today without Grab? Will people suffer? Technically, yes. Actually, yes, You'll be very anxious, right? And touch and go today not working. Your e-wallet not working, right? You'll be very anxious, right? Because we are only reliant. And these are the good technology actually solve the main problem, right? So technology or innovation is supposed to improve or make a better lives for the human mankind, right? And it's a double-edged sword in a way that technology is supposed to improve the healthcare segment. The patient should have a better access, better information, more well-informed, less waiting time, things like that, right? But at the same time, if we are not adopting the solution or the digital solution, right, we might not be able to provide relevant practice or services to our patients, right? And that will make us very less relevant, and that technology actually will make us look very bad, right? So in a nutshell, I think be open to learn more. Technology is definitely here to stay, and like it or not, right? So a classic example where I used to practice in Singapore. Those days we are still using a lot of paper, history taking and prescription, sent to whatever, right? So one day, the hospital, the clinic group developed an in-house, the full system, CMS, EMR, right? All the doctors and nurses was complaining. Well, I have to do this, I have to do this, so many steps, And fast forward to actually after 2 years, and one day the whole system down, right? And everyone was complaining, right? So sometimes you need a lot of enforcement to force you to do this, right? And sometimes, of course, the market also enforce you to do that. So it's a matter of how we actually apply and adapt and adopt the solution itself. So always believe that technology is here to help you and not to replace you. Yeah.
In fact, I will start by the story. Can you imagine a cardiologist with a stethoscope? Stethoscope is a technology. You cannot now imagine someone who is working as cardiologist without stethoscope. And now I think technology is created to help us as healthcare professionals and to improve the healthcare system. But if there is a problem with technology, it's not the problem of the technology. The problem is about users, us as healthcare professionals. We don't know how to use it. We don't know the risks and the challenges of these technologies. Among them, the artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is a great tool when wisely used and with human oversight. Otherwise, it's very risky. Imagine that you have your own data in platform or artificial intelligence firm using this without your consent, without the consent of your doctor, because we are doctors. We are the first advocate of the privacy and the rights of our patient. We need to understand how the artificial intelligence is used, how Internet of Medical Things are used, and how to use it the best way and the safest way for our patient. The main rule that we have in our medical study is that do not harm. If we use the technology very badly and we don't know how to use it, it will be a big harm for our patients. And that's why I recommend my fellows that to understand the technology, you will not be a highly expert in artificial intelligence, but you know at least the basics of artificial intelligence, of the remote monitoring and of Internet of Medical Things. Otherwise, you will harm your patient and you will harm yourself and will cause big medical legal issue for you and for your patients.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point on using technology safely. Otherwise, if you don't, if you're not trained on it, you're not aware of it, technology can potentially be dangerous for our patients. I totally agree with you on that. Yeah. So Dr. Vishnu, can I get the QR? Okay, so
as we wait for the QR code, is that that's great, awesome.
Yes, we open the floor for questions.
Yes.
I am Dr. Manvir. I am aspiring to go into the health tech space. I have started small. It's been around 7 to 8 years of doing what I've been doing on the side. So this year I'm going to go fully into it. So my question to both of y'all or any of y'all is, how do I now take the next step? Is it, do I approach someone for funding? Do I find a health tech or a tech founder? Do I now team up with a couple of people who are like-minded? Because I had tried to find those people, but their shared interest is either they're doing something else and then, okay, I also can do this with you, then let's see how it goes kind of thing. Or do I now just go to, that I have approached some VCs before, and the outcomes were a bit different because they have different interests of different things. So now, to summarize, how do I now take the next step? Do I fund? Do I look for a technical founder? Or what's the thing that I should do? Thanks.
Quick question, if you don't mind. What stage are you at now? Are you at the prototype stage or you are in the commercial stage?
Okay, so what I do is I help my patients with diabetes control and mostly NCD work. And I have been doing this one-on-one with my patients with very low tech. That means it can even be a WhatsApp call or video call. I will just guide them and counsel them. And anything that I do is via WhatsApp, and that's all. So now the thing is, and I have like a medical system where I help record all that stuff and everything's there. So the moving parts are there, but at a very small scale. The idea is to get more people on board, get more doctors involved, healthcare professionals, nurses, education with diet and so on and so forth to kind of propel it to go bigger. And the aim is to make it more affordable to patients. Right now, the 101 is expensive. I don't lie, it's expensive. for the patient. But my idea is to reach out to more people and make it cheaper. So that's the question. How do I now go to scale that?
Okay. If I understand correctly, I think my view that you are currently having some form of a proven product market fit in a way because you have some customers. In my opinion, I think if you go to the VC right now, it's a bit too early, right? And you know how the venture capitalists work is, they will look at it, right? Of course, they also need to manage the risk. They will invest in 100 startups, right? And hopefully 1 to 2 will make it. The other 98 will not make it. Doesn't matter because the 2 will make it big through the capital markets, right? So in your case, I think you are in between the start-up phase and the scale-up phase, right? So I would suggest that you really consolidate your team. Because right now everything is you, right? What will actually decide a very successful company is the people actually, right? Because business model can change. It has to be changed, right? And it has to be very dynamic, right? Because the environment is very dynamic and ever-changing in the market. So right now, I think what is more crucial is, assuming your product is actually having some good, base, you need people, right? Right now you're doing low tech. Nothing wrong with low tech, to be honest. Innovation is not about high tech alone. It's about continuous improvement, right? So form your solid team, get the co-founders, right? If you collaborate with other startups, they might have their own agenda and priorities, right? But no one might be exactly the same as you having a vision and a mission, doing what you're doing for the diabetic community, correct? So I think the best is to get the like-minded co-founders. The co-founders can be your technology CTO, right? Those who actually can fill up the skill set gap. Don't go for another doctors, right? One enough, right? You don't need so many doctors in the co-founding team. You are the subject matter expert in the medical field. You need someone in the other fields that can help to complement your skills, your gaps, right? Then once your team is formed, then go out and continue to build your solution, increase your base, and then once you hit certain size, you need to scale, then you look for the capital, right? Really to grow. Yeah, so that's my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. I think Dr. Raymond has also explained what are the next steps. I think to have the adequate team and to have the common target, and later on start to recruit patients that can show you what are the strengths of your solution and what are the weaknesses, and it will be real world results that can convince later on the founders about your solution, and you need to compare your solution to the other ones who are available on the market. You need to have added value to compare it to the other solution in the market. Otherwise, no one will find someone who is available on the market, and there is a lot of competitors. You try to see the painful points and the gaps, not fixed by the other solutions, and you work on it. And it will be very easy when you have more and more patients, and we have a team, as said Dr. Raymond, team in other fields. It means technology, in business, in legal fields that can help you to develop your solution.
Right, thanks for that. Okay, I think there is a very interesting question. Is health technology being hyped up to a point where, as an alternate career choice, because so many people are getting into it, but in reality, only a few may sustain?
I don't think it's a hype up because I don't see a lot of people going into it, to be honest. And we still need a lot of people coming into this space, right? Is it a hype up? I don't think so compared to other industry. It's not high up, right? If we talk about other, fintech, crypto, blockchain, right? And this is definitely not a high up. And in fact, it's a very boring segment in a way. Why is it boring? Because the return is so long. You need so much perseverance and resilience into this health tech space. And simply because healthcare is the most regulated and highly complex industry. And this is one of the top 2, if not top 3, the least disrupted industry across all. Right? Can you imagine today, bank, you can do everything with your mobile phone. Right? Do you know what is the worst innovated industry?
Okay.
Healthcare probably is second, right? Actually, it's legal. The legal, everything still need you to go to the book and sign, right? They do not want innovation in legal, right? The lawyers and all this. The other one would be healthcare and also insurance. Insurance, they also have a lot of innovations, right? But they're also bound by a lot of rules. So we need more people to come forward to come and innovate the space, the young brain, the talents to come in. So it's not high up, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to add just a note. Most of the health tech startups are failing because healthcare professionals are not involved in such solutions. Because most of the businessmen and the project founders and health tech founders, they don't know how the healthcare system is working, and is sometimes I think it's over-regulated, maybe in other countries. I think we need to have more healthcare professionals in the health tech space. Maybe you will not be a founder, will not be, but you need to also, you can work as advisor, as consultant, and this is good to work like this. And I think we need to change the mindset. I think you need to go back to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you found out that we are not, as physicians, prepared to such pandemic because we are not so resilient. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
Sorry, to add on one quick note, the most innovative period of time, right, of all is actually our pandemic time. Things that you think could have done in 4 years actually we did in 4 days. So it's all about whether how willing we are and how painful it is. Right, you think about it.
Yeah, so just to answer the question, so from a personal level, in fact, health technology as a career is not, I would say it's not popular. It is actually in demand, but it is not popular given the economic climate of specific countries. Why I say that? Because personally myself, I joined a MNCs that implements electronic medical records. So companies like that, they are in fact looking for doctors who are really into health tech. So that's one. Second one is, if you look at companies that has never been in healthcare as well. So another example I would give is, I also worked in a printing company. So I worked in a company that sells printer, but they have business verticals in health tech. What it means is that they are also looking to expand their business, selling into hospital space or healthcare space. So it is also a form of health technology. It is just in different forms. And another one, the simplest one, would be health tech consulting space as well. So if you are familiar with any of your big fours, your PwC, your Ernst & Young, they are also, in fact, looking for healthcare professionals to assist them with health technology consulting. So just to answer that question, right? You want to add? Or, okay. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. You want to answer that one? Probably I'll just skip that. Okay.
Yeah. What is the best way to raise angel funding? Always start from your own savings, followed by parents, family, relatives, and friends. Right? These are the angels who actually believe in you, not because of your ideas. Right? Angel funding usually believe in you as a person. They trust you. You have the credibility and all this because they don't know what you're trying to do. Right? Only then once you get the angel fund, then you go for the more serious funding. High net worth people and then later on institution. So usually angel comes from the close friends and family.
Yeah. So I think since you're answering, so I think there's a question. So what is expected out of doctors who wants to be part of a company? Could they do it as part-time while being in KKM in the Ministry of Health?
KKM means the Ministry of
Yeah,
Health.
Ministry of
Yeah. So, I mean, today we see a lot of medical officers, coming out to be the agents of certain products. They are, leveraging on their medical expertise. I don't see any issue, especially when you are in Ministry of Health. I think there's no conflict of interest. But if you're working in the private sector, say hospitals, then you probably need to declare, right? I don't see any reason, as I mentioned, if you can start moonlighting and to gain some of the skill set, say, I'm not very good at sales and marketing, right? All this while I'm in hospital, right? Government. I want to be exposed and learn a bit more about the sales and marketing from the commercial side, right? Then you can tag yourself into a part-time, in certain company, be it a startup or the, SMEs, right? And things like that. So that will help you to brush up some of the skills. And not only that, right, you must have the desire to also learn more, like go for online classes, do more learning, distant learning, things like that. So by all means, go for it, right? Don't think, just do it. Yeah.
Thanks for that. Okay, I think there's a question probably for both of you. What skills are needed into health tech for doctors who did not finish clinical practice?
I think it's not a problem to not to finish your medical studies, but you need to improve your credibility, and you need to improve your skills in the health tech system, because there are competitors who have finished their medical studies, they have started their clinical careers, and they have also their technical skills and certificates and abilities. So maybe you need to have more advantages than them to be involved and to be hired by health tech startups and projects.
Yeah, just to add on, to me, I think it's not about what kind of skill sets that you need if you do not want to finish your clinical, right? Always be honest to yourself. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? The purpose, right? And most importantly, do you have what it takes to do what you want to do? Simply put, right, do you have the grit? Do you have the perseverance? It's not going to be overnight success like Elon Musk, right? There's only one Elon Musk in this world, right? But there are many, many more failures, right? Are you able to take that kind of failures and bounce back, learn, and continue to persevere and be resilient? So instead of looking at the skill set itself, more on asking yourself, do I have the values, the attitude to go towards this approach? If not, then I'd rather go back to 9-to-5 job. Yeah. So it's more like the attitude and the way you approach it.
I think, by the way, Elon Musk is not overnight success to a lot of crazy failures as well. Okay, so for people just starting into health tech with zero experience, how should they apply into health tech companies? Any certifications you can learn?
Yes,
yeah.
I think if you have zero experience in health tech, it's not a problem, because you need to improve your skills, to improve your knowledge. You ask for to have certificates on artificial intelligence and on Internet of Medical Things, on data science. A lot of technologies are available, and of course, most of them are given by well-reputed universities like Harvard, MIT, and other US and European university. And it's important to look for internship and training in the real field, in your local country or outside. And I think you need to be exposed to the health tech space, because knowing the health tech space in theory is totally different from the practice, from the challenge that you see every day. And if you have all these criteria, I think it's easy to recruit you and to hire you in the companies. But you need to focus on your target and to know what do you want to do in the health tech space. Because there is a health tech space, it's more like healthcare is an ocean. If you don't know how to swim in, you will be lost. And the idea is that, as we said before, you start small, start learning, and stay curious. And when you have this ability, sometimes companies recruit you because of your attitude, not because of your experience. Because they know that you are a good learner and that will improve your knowledge and you will be an added value for that company.
Yeah, I want to add on. I don't think personally you need experience to run any startups or anything. All you need to do is go and fail fast. Go and fail. Yeah, because this is how you gain your experience, right? And when Tesla first came out, the whole journey, do they know what they want to do? Not really, right? BYD, they started with a battery company, right? So you will evolve as you go. So go and do things that you think you want to achieve and fail. Fail is fine, right? But don't fail the same product twice, right? But you need to iterate fast and fail fast. So and that's the best way to learn, and that's the best way to gain your experience. Yeah.
So I think regarding certifications, okay, so there's a few things you can do out there. So if you look at some of the local universities, there are local universities that are offering health technology executive educations. You can check them out. And then if you are more adventurous, you can go online and look for what we call it, certified professional certifications that, of course, you need to attend courses and then take exams, and then you pass with a postgraduate certification, with a post certification. But again, just FYI, it doesn't guarantee you with like a bonus, like, oh, you know what, you're certified now and then you get jobs or whatnot. So that is not the whole purpose. The whole purpose of certification is actually to validate your knowledge on any of that course that you're referring to. So if you are into health tech, you're into digital health, you want to validate your knowledge, then yes, you can pursue professional certifications that validates your knowledge against that. So there are a lot. With the availability of e-learning as well, you can check out Harvard's e-certification. There's a lot of it, a lot of executive educations. You can go ahead and do that. If you are an aspiring programmer as well, you can also check out Harvard's CS50 course. Again, 10 weeks program, 11 weeks, I can't remember. You'll learn how to code, you'll learn about computer programming and all. But again, ultimately, it is coming back to what our panelists mentioned as well. Ultimately, it comes down to what exactly you are looking for. And I think, like Raymond said, like Dr. Raouf mentioned as well, you need to be very clear of your intent as well. I'm not sure whether this is relevant, but I just wanted to share as well. So health tech is a lot about projects, a lot about long-term implementation, incremental improvements of sorts and all. So if you like professional certifications like PMP, I'm not sure whether you guys are familiar with it, project management professional as well. So it is also a very good certification that you can take, and a lot of companies would like PMP professionals. So this is just some of my takes. Okay, we have 7 minutes. Let me see if there's any other. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
International medical community. Yes? How do I join that? Can I join that?
I think it's international medical community was created by the needs during the pandemic. We got the team that we have met during the MIT hackathons and the European University Paris hackathons. I'm the only medical expert in the group, in the team. We are one in the business, one in the legal, I think 2 in the legal. And we have known that a lot of startups, a lot of projects in the healthcare during the pandemic mainly, they are struggling to know how to realize and to found their projects. And everyone from the team is giving his insights. Me as a medical physician, and I have medical insights. The team of the business one is giving the business insights and ideas. And I think later on we will have realized that this is not only the needs during the pandemic. This is the needs of the health tech space worldwide. And we are a very cosmopolitan team. We are one from Croatia and from Tunisia, one from Ghana, the other one is from Australia. And we didn't meet face to face like I meet you now. We have worked all over the world online, and we are helping teams online. And this is super bueno. Maybe later on we will develop another projects like a funding project for the health tech in the MENA region and the Gulf countries. It will be maybe in next few months or maybe next year. And it depends on the needs of the health tech space.
Thank you for that. I will look for you after this. Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions?
Ladies and gentlemen, wake up! Nah, just kidding.
Yeah,
any other questions?
Yeah, any questions? Anything else? Yeah, there's one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the talk. It's quite interesting. I'm Dr. Nick from JKN Selangor government side. You mentioned earlier concerning you'd like some health tech in terms of law or medical legal law. Can you give an example so that I can bring it to my boss so at least we can start something? Because I'm in JKN, I'm in charge of CISPA as well as medical legal. And all complaints come to our side. So sometimes it's quite difficult when you can't use ChatGPT, you can't to do things manually, and it's tiring. For the whole state in Selangor, we have 13 hospitals, so it would be interesting to combine some of technology when it comes to medical legal and law.
Yeah, I think under Ministry of Health is the e-health, the mobile health segment, right, by Dr. Mahesh. And understand where you're coming from. Like I say, healthcare is very highly regulated. Just one, say, the telehealth service, right? There are more than actually 100 of laws and acts governing this space, but there's no online healthcare services come in Malaysia at the moment. So what we learned throughout the past 10 years is, and that was also advised by MOH, is don't wait for us, do first. But let us know how you do it, what you're doing it, and in a way it's like a sandbox, right? So for example, 8 years ago, when we first started, there wasn't any electronic prescription for remote in the market, right? So we went to MOH and say, hey, this is what I want to do, electronic prescription, so that my doctors can prescribe remotely for the patient and the pharmacy will receive and dispense, right? And there wasn't any such act, right? And what is closer to the act is Poison Act and Medical Act, right? And the Poison Act was 1952. Today we're in 2025. So you see how far we are, right? So we actually went to MOH, and mind my language, we stripped naked from the architectural processes, flow, everything to MOH, to MPRA, to enforcement, that took us 6 months, right, for them to actually say that the other halangan means no objection. They won't approve you, they say the other halangan. Okay, then all the pharmacy, 2,000 pharmacy now is using it, right? And it took us four years to have the Amendment Act, Poison Act with e-prescription using digital signature system. So you see the process is long. If today you wait for the process to happen, it will not happen. So you have to do it first. As an innovator, you have to be a bit naughty sometimes, right? Don't go within your frame. But first thing is do no harm, be safe, be professional, be ethical. Do it, let them know in the sandbox, and keep them updated. So that would be my experience for sharing.
I think this is not a Malaysian issue only, it's a worldwide issue. The pace of health tech is a lot faster than the pace of regulation. As I said, Dr. Raymond, start your project, be ethical, be very conscious about the risks for your patient, and the regulation will follow. Otherwise, if we wait for the regulation and the law to help us, we'll wait maybe decades to implement only one solution. And you see artificial intelligence, there is a lot of solutions that are waiting for regulation, and the regulation in US is very fast, okay? But in Europe and the other countries, it's very, very slow.
Yeah, all right. So I think we have 40 seconds left. Anyone with last question? All right. Okay. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I guess we ran out of time.
Well,
thank you so much.
Time is relative. Carry on.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have maybe 5 seconds to say that we need more healthcare professionals to be in health tech, and you must know that this is not an option. This is a must to be health tech skilled, and at least you have literacy on health tech. Otherwise, you will be left behind and you will harm your patients. Thank you.
Raymond, any last points?
6 words. Be open, be naughty, and be safe.
Well, second word is what again?
6 words, 6 words. Be naughty,
Third word. Be open, be
naughty. Be naughty.
Okay.
And be safe.
Alright, so everyone, please give a big round of applause for our panelists. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Jason, thank you very much. That was very insightful. So whoever is wanting to know more, please approach these gentlemen. Raymond, of course, has written and shared with us for many conferences.